Warren Richardson, congratulations. You won the World Press photo for a picture you took at the border from Serbia to Hungary. Can you describe the picture?
A man in his 40s handing a very young baby under a fence. He's rushing into Hungary to try and get to Germany. When I took the picture, I didn't realise I would actually get a picture like this, because the speed of the camera, the whole surroundings is just moonlight. Standing on that side of that ditch, there was actually a ditch there. It was about a 45-degree angle, and I had to contort my body. So one leg was way up into my chest, the other leg was completely stretched out. I had to have the camera to my chest at the time. It was like ants when I took this picture. They were flowing past me very quickly. And sometimes when the children went under by themselves, they would stop and wait for the parent to come because they didn't want to go by themselves. There was a group of young men at the time that helped them. Maybe about 6 to 8 Syrian men. They're all engineers. And they're the ones who orchestrated the whole thing. They helped everybody to get under this fence. They helped their own kind, basically. At first, when I started photographing, they were a little bit, I would say, not so pleased to see me, but they accepted me after a few minutes because I was the only photographer there. So they just only said to me, if the police come, do what we tell you to do and react with us. So that's what I did. It was my honour to do that with them.
What was your feeling at the moment?
The moment of the picture?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't really look at the picture on the camera at the time, because when you're in the middle of nowhere on a border, you can't really waste power on a camera. You're only just taking photos as if it was like an analog camera. So you can't really just keep looking to the back of the screen and checking what the pictures look like. All I could do is hope and pray that I was getting something to tell the story of what I was seeing, with my own eyes, history in the making.
Is that what makes the picture so special, history in the making?
Definitely. It's one of the biggest things that's happened in the last couple of years to Europe. It's like a tsunami of people, and they still keep flowing.
Then you received a phone call. Congratulations, you've won the World Press photo. What was going through your mind at the moment?
Well, I had my bag on my back and I was ready to leave, pretty much what I'm doing now. I had planned to walk to the top end of Norway, to the Arctic Circle, to watch the midnight sun, and I wanted to walk there. And that was my plan. But then, as I was walking out the door, or getting ready to walk out the door, there was this phone call. At first I didn't believe it. They said it again to me, and a second I didn't believe it. I was a bit shocked, because I'd never really won any competitions in my life. So
Now you've won the World Press photo. What does it mean to you?
I still don't know how to answer that one. To me, I'm just a photographer. I'm a time collector. I love doing what I do. That's what I do. To have something like this, I've even had to ask friends, what does it mean to be the World Press winner? Most of them say everything. I still don't understand that.
The picture you took was at first not published. Why not?
Well, I sent it to 2 agencies, and one of the agencies I wrote to and said, come on, you're telling me you love my images, but I don't see them being published. What's going on? Oh, you've got to get them in quite quicker, and I can understand their theory. I had to get them in quicker, but I'm not going to carry 2 cameras and a lens and a laptop and all power leads and not stay in a hotel and be running around the middle of nowhere, because things will get damaged and broken, and then, to be honestly, it's quite costly to be in an industry like this. So it fortunately was my fault, and I think personally they could have pushed the images for magazines and books perhaps, but I'm not the salesperson, I'm the photographer.
Then you left from Budapest, where you live in Hungary, and you decided to walk to Amsterdam. Why?
Well, my original plan was, but even before I won the World Press, was to walk to Norway. So I've diverted. So basically, instead of walking straight to Hamburg, I've come in through Emmerich instead, along the river, the Rhine, to end up here, which is a lovely city, and now to hit the beach and walk up the coast, to end up in Amsterdam to receive my award. And obviously my commitments to what I'm doing at the moment doesn't stop me from finishing it. So when I finished, I will come back to Amsterdam and continue on back to Hamburg and back up through Denmark into Sweden and then to Oslo and then all the way to the top.
To go back to the original plan.
To finish it, yeah.
Yeah. How long have you been on the road now?
Just under 2 months.
And how many kilometers have you walked already?
I kind of worked it out to about maybe 1,500, 1,600 kilometers. I had to get a train, unfortunately. I got very, very sick. I got dysentery from drinking the wrong water from a river. So that was a bit of a, how would you say, that took it out of my pride a little bit, because I really wanted to continue walking it, but I knew that if I didn't get help, I would get sicker. So I was losing everything in my body for 15 days. So I imagined I pretty much got something out of the water. It was a bug, and it pretty much virtually started straight away. So.
That was one of the stories you that you have had during your trip. What other stories?
Oh.
What have you seen during your trip?
I've seen a lot of bridges, a lot of water.
Because you walk without a map.
I've walked without a map. I've followed pretty much the Danube River, well, the Donau, as people would say. So I'm going against that river. I picked up the tram from Links, which took me right down. That's where I got sick, along the tram, which I'm going against that river. So obviously I had to catch a train from Salzburg to Stuttgart, and then the guy who looked after me was an Iraqi refugee, which ironically how it happened, but they looked after me for 15 days, made sure I was well, I was ready to go again, and then started off and then picked up the Rhine River, which I was going with, so the water's flowing with me. When I came from Rotterdam, I pretty much left the river and I followed the sun to here. So I tried to use as much of Mother Nature as possible without using technology. So
You
test my skills.
yeah. Can you imagine that people say that you're crazy?
What's crazy? What's the definition of crazy?
Because of walking a big distance without a map.
Well, we only live once.
That's true.
Nothing's forever. Why not? Give it a go. See what happens. The world's a big place. It's amazing. Try not to expect to use technology, because technology doesn't always. Technology is just laziness. You know, I didn't want to use anything. Just this.
How long do you think you're going to need to get to Amsterdam?
Well, I intend on arriving on the 21st, so I'm going to pretty much walk into the World Press Awards. I don't want to get there too early because I don't want to stay in a hotel. I love my tent. So, anyway, as you can hear around us, you can hear the ocean. You can't hear cars. You can hear the birds. I wake up to a fox every morning, which is pretty cool. And you know, and I've met some very lovely people here. I have one woman. I'm not going to mention her name just because that's what I would want to do. But every night she brings me hot food, and that's just humbling. And you know, where do you get that in the world? And that's pretty much the whole journey. People have been very amazing. You know, they give of themselves because someone's doing something different. They give of themselves for that.
Now you won the World Press photo. What's next for you now?
I want to go to Macedonia. I want to go back down to where the refugees are. You know, I have friends down there who at the moment in Greece and Macedonia saying this is what's happening. You know, it's history. And this is what's happening in our world today. You know, if it's not what's happening with the refugees, it's what's happening on planet Earth. You know, we can either ignore things or we can embrace them. You know, what's happening with climate change is one of them. You know, we embrace it as it's real, or we can ignore it. We have to come to terms that one day we have to change. So to me, I would love to go back to where the refugees are, because I feel more at home with them than I do in a Western society. I kind of familiarise myself. I'm very comfortable there. And I love their ways. I love the way they're quite humbling.
Thank you very much. Congratulations again, and
Welcome.
I wish you all the best.
Thank you.